at Leap 2024, interviewing Mr. Ashesh Badani, Senior Vice President and Chief Product Officer of Red Hat. He is sharing some very interesting insights and also talking about the presence of the company in Saudi Arabia. Hi, Mr. Ashish. It's a pleasure to have you at Integrator Media. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
How's your day going so far at Leap 2024?
It's been fantastic. My second day here at Leap, my first time in Riyadh, first time in Saudi Arabia, and it's amazing to see the energy and the kinds of technology ambitions all around me here.
It's surely such a great event. We will get back to it more towards the questions. So let's get towards little about the background of Red Hat. So how does Red Hat address modern IT challenges such as scalability and security in today's environment?
Yeah, so Red Hat, for the folks who don't know us well, has been an open source company. We have been for over 20 years. And we've always believed in the principle that, the more eyes that you have on code, the shallower the bugs become for it, right? And so the idea is that if code is fundamentally open, right, then more people are able to inspect it, to view it, provide their feedback, and improve it. That improves security. And we've seen that now consistently in the Linux technology set, and now increasingly we're seeing in the rest of our products as well. And then also with the fact that it's open source is you're really breaking down digital divide, right? And so more and more people from all around the world can use it, right? Because it's accessible to anyone. And so when they do that and they start applying it in different ways and different use cases, right, we invariably see, use cases that we haven't dreamt of, right? And, when you talk about scalability, right, we see it actually scaling, in every imaginable industry possible.
So what strategies is Red Hat employing to manage also hybrid and some multi-cloud environments in the company?
Yeah, so increasingly what we are seeing is that most large enterprises around the world, and this will include governmental organizations as well, are all adopting hybrid or multi-cloud for a variety of reasons, right? In some cases, there's data sovereignty issues. In other cases there's compliance, there's governance issues. Some other parts of the world, especially in EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and as well as in the Asia Pacific region, there's a big push also to make sure that there is the ability to migrate applications or be able to have a failover or a second environment to be able to run the applications for recovery and backup. And so we think hybrid and multi-cloud is a strategy that consistently across large organizations we see adopt.
That's very interesting. So what are some of the Red Hat's short-term and long-term plans if we talk about only for KSA region?
Yeah, so look, in the short term, we're here. We are very, very interested in helping to support the growth that the region is seeing. And it wants to invest in a variety of areas, right? We've seen a lot of interest in the region, for example, in embracing new technologies like AI. AI is probably the best example of being able to use modern advancements in technology to ensure that we have greater efficiency, we have greater automation. But we also want to make sure that the technologies that we're bringing to bear is making the average work that is being done by, let's say, an organization, a citizen, more accessible and more efficient, right? And so that push that we see that's happening in KSA is one that we've seen in other parts of the world, but it just seems like the rate of adoption here has just dramatically increased.
So coming back towards Leap, how does Leap contribute to the advancement of Saudi Arabia's technology sector especially?
Well, first of all, it's fantastic to see so many providers of technology from all around the world gathered in one place, right? So the ability for ideas to be exchanged is an extremely powerful one that's happening here. And then when you take these ideas that are being exchanged and you couple that along with the ambitions that this region has, we think that's a great recipe to be able to say, look, here is what technology can do to advance a nation and to help fundamentally transform it, right, from being a certain kind of economy, maybe perhaps that's more resource-based, to one that's increasingly information-powered.
So Leap is also helping a lot through the startups Like all the new startups are also here, and there are like massive networking opportunities also. So what kind of opportunities you are looking for here?
Yeah, so we like to think about a rising tide lifting all boats, right? And so when you think of, let's say, large companies like an Aramco or the large banks here, or even the public sector organization, as they embrace technology, you pretty much realize that global providers can only do certain things, right? There will be needs that are specific to the region that a startup will be best suited to provide, as well as new companies that will realize as a result of the new technologies that are being adopted, that needs are being identified that perhaps weren't by companies that are much further away from the region.
One popular thing in Red Hat is the customer-centric culture.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that it's there in the market and it's popular, that everyone knows about it?
So at Red Hat, we say we're often good at keeping secrets, in that our technology is being used by large companies around the world. And many times people don't know that certain banks are being powered by Red Hat. You fly Delta Airlines and you use the Wi-Fi on the plane. That's being powered by Red Hat at the back end. Governments, trading exchanges around the world, 5G telecom networks, right? All being powered by Red Hat everywhere. And we think that's the power of open source, right? The idea of open source that is very, very deep-rooted is this notion of a meritocracy, right? That the best idea wins. And then when you have this power, this ability to have many people from around the world contribute all these great ideas, and then open source helps to develop it, then we at Red Hat feel like we're fortunate to help steward that into the hands of our users globally.
So the best idea that you have, like you are currently working upon, so is there some other best idea you are coming up with in the future?
Well, I don't know about our best idea. We're certainly interested in helping promote the adoption of AI, artificial intelligence, right? We see a variety of interest in, for example, generative AI, different kinds of models that customers are using, some that are being provided by third-party providers, some that customers themselves are building based on their own data. So we want to provide a platform to enable that. So a lot of interest from customers in edge computing, right? To be able to say, I have a distributed environment, how do we make sure that our technologies can help serve places where the data is actually being generated, and then be able to react quicker to that. And so open source is quite popular for Linux. It's become quite popular for container-based technologies. And I think increasingly you'll see open source technologies help power AI and edge as well.
Thank you so much for sharing such insights. It's a pleasure having you here.
It was great talking to you. Thank you again.